Well, hi guys, and welcome to another edition of my angling diary. Last time we spoke was mid-September, I think. I was on that session at the manor with my missus, and I think the last thing I said was I'm going to do my best to go as much as possible over the next 5 or 6 weeks. Best made plans and all that, it never happened. I think I got down for one solitary night in October, arrived in the dark, left in the dark, so I didn't even get the camera out. And since then, I just haven't had the chance to get back. I went away with work to France. We had a great trip there, making a little video for the website, and a couple of just small day sessions, really short day sessions, nothing really that major. But I'm back out today with my old mate Ricky, and we're piking on a southern reservoir, as you can see behind me. It's a beautiful day for it. While we get the rods sorted out though, I did have a nice little session on the Thames not that long ago with Ricky again. So watch a few clips from that while we get the rods out here, and I'll catch up with you shortly.
Two quick bites this morning before the kettle's even boiled. Not a bad start. Little jack and this low double. Hopefully the day will continue.
Whoa, he wasn't hanging about.
Stop talking, Rick.
Be quiet, Rick. You're driving me absolutely crazy.
I need silence.
Right, so a little update. Like these winter days always do, come and go very quick. We're about 3 o'clock now, and it almost looks like we're going to lose the light in the next 15 minutes, but we've probably got about another hour-ish, so hopefully there's a chance for another one. But it's been a pretty hectic morning. 5 fish I think we've had, haven't we?
Yeah,
5 fish. 5 takes, landed all 5, which pike fishing is pretty good going, but the big ones have eluded us. They've been all jacks apart from a very low double that Rick had, second or third fish. But it's been nice just to get out, and I think if anything, mate, I think it just shows, doesn't it, on these days, like when people have hung the carp rods up. You know, it's quite cold today. Where are we now? We're the 6th of December.
Yeah, end of December, yeah.
And it's only going to get colder now, and people tend to, you'll know as a retailer more than I will, tend to just stop going fishing.
I mean, it absolutely surprises me the amount of people that come into my shop and pretty much say, that's it now to the spring. And it blows my mind, because obviously I love carp fishing, but I love as much going fishing for pike and perch and just maximise the winter. You know, or fishing for different species. It doesn't have to be carp.
No.
Saying that, you can go to a prolific venue like a dating water, which is full of carp.
Yeah, there's plenty of them now with the linear fisheries and things like that.
But you and I love fishing for other things, and I think more people should do it.
Definitely, and I think it just shows, like today we've had 5 takes. I mean, you know yourself, we both fished quite pressured syndicate waters normally, but even if you don't, sometimes you can go and be lucky to have 2 or 3 carp a day in perfect conditions at these day tickets. And
I'd love that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
if every trip was like that. Wow. Yeah.
But you know, we've come here, massive reservoir. I mean, over 100 acres, I think, and we've managed 5 fish. I think I'm pretty happy, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time I've been here. I don't think you've pike fished it before, have you?
Never pike fished
So we've
it.
just sort of, I don't know, turn up at a spot. It looked good. We can cover some water, and it's worked out. You know, we had bites very quickly, within 10 minutes, I think. So it's been good. It has
been good. Well, hopefully we'll give you one more update with another fish. We've probably got about an hour of usable light, like I say. We're going to have a rechuck. It's just starting to rain quite heavy now. We're sheltered under the tempest air. So we'll duck out of here, get the rods recast, see if we can generate one last bite to show you. But if we don't, we are back out in a couple of days. We're going to go up and have a go on the River Lee, if all goes well. Try and target the perch, chub.
You're going to show me that chub spot.
I'm going to show you that. Well, I'll show you it. I'm not definitely going to let you fish it.
All right.
But I'll show you it. And
I'll
what
be
we
your gilly.
Yeah, you can be my gilly. But what we are planning to do, hopefully, if we can make it happen, we're going to try and fish a few hours into dark and try and catch a zander out there, because we both really want to do that, don't we?
Be wicked.
Yeah, be nice. So if we see you again today, hopefully it'll be with a pike. If not, we'll see you next time. And remember, get yourself out there fishing. Worry with these, buddy.
Just chill. Yeah.
Well, there you go. We said we was going to hang it out for last knock-ins. It is literally pitch black now. I think it's about 20 to 5, so he's hung on a little bit longer than we said we would. But the best till last. We're estimating it. We're not going to start dragging all the scales out now at this time of night, but he's got to be 14 or 15 pounds. He's a lovely, big fit fish with a big head. So we're going to get him back because he's flexing his guns. But what a great end to a thoroughly enjoyable day. And it just goes to show you don't have to be sat behind stagnant carp rods. You can get out and fish for other things like these beautiful Esox lucius. Cracker. Let's get it back. Well, welcome to another little section on the diary, guys. We're now into the new year, into January, so a very happy new year to all you watching. Hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. Last time I was out, I was doing pike fishing with my old mate Ricky on the reservoir, and I said to you I was going to get out and do a bit of chubbing, possibly a bit of perching with him up on the Lee. That did happen, but we got blighted by some horrendous weather, so the camera didn't really come out all day. There was one little bit of respite in the afternoon, where we managed to get together and have a cup of tea, a little bit of last sort of afternoon sun, but other than that it tipped it down all day, so we weren't really going to be catching much. We did the best we could, but unfortunately it wasn't to be up there. After that I haven't really done a great deal between there and the new year now. I had one day session chubbing somewhere where I couldn't film, so unfortunately I haven't got any footage of that. We're saying that I've got a couple of little cuttings of just holding up what was the best one of the day, which was a nice 5-pounder. But I'm out again today, and chubbing and roaching is the target today. I'm out with my old mate Mike. He's a little bit of a master at this type of thing, so it's really good to get out with him. You're always learning loads, and we're on a lovely little stream on the Thames, so this should be really good fun. So yeah, we've been here since sort of first light. I've just been playing about with the camera while Mike's been getting set up. He's had a few trots through the first swim, nothing decent at the moment, just a few nice roach and plenty of small chub, so we're just about to move. So I thought I'd do a little bit to camera first, and then we'll be on the move trying to hunt out some of these bigger chub, and even more special would be one of the quality roach that are in here. So yeah, I'll keep you posted, and hopefully we'll be back in no time with a decent chub or a lovely roach. So see you in a bit. Well, how about that for a start? I said it wasn't really proving much luck in that first swim with only small ones. I've filmed Mike just creeping through to that next swim. It's just a lovely little spot just where it funnels out in some deeper water. And first trot through, Mike's had this beautiful chub. 5.15 with the net?
With the net, we'll weigh the net in a second there. Yeah, so it'd be an upper 4 anyway.
Upper 4, what a start.
It's a good start for a little tiny little stream, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. It just goes to show you, these little rivers and stuff just get ignored on the Thames. They're filled with litter, they look like they're going to hold nothing, but an upper 4 first trot through on the on one of the proper swims, that ain't a bad start, is it? We'll get this one back, and Mike won't be picking the rod up on the next one, that's for sure. I'm going to have a trot through. There you go, I'm off the mark, and it was a little bit more testing than I thought. It looked like I was just going to trot through and have one straight away after Mike, because they were really boiling in the swim, but not the case. I had a load of small little chublets, and we thought, oh, they'd all push down, so a little bit of techers from Mike. We come back a little bit further, started to run a little bit earlier, and I was in to a decent one straight away. It looked like a really good fish as well, probably another at least a 4, maybe an upper 4, but it got me in a little snag just down there and I lost it. Probably seen that on camera. It's quite amusing but also quite gutting, but persevered, and we come back a little bit further still, drop the float in second chuck down, and it's gone, and I'm off the mark with this lovely little chub. Only a few pounds, but there's definitely more there, so I'm going to slip him back and see if I can get involved in one of those bigger ones. Lovely. Well, there you go, number 2, and a lot of perseverance there. Lost one again, had the rod nearly ripped out my hand at about a 35-yard trot, but we got there in the end, and we've nicked one more out of this swim. We're gonna have a move now. I think we've exhausted this one. We've been lucky enough to have, I think, 5 or 6 bites now, a couple of losses. Mike's had another one, I've had 2, so a really good start in what was the first sort of semi-banker peg. So yeah, slip this one back in the keep net and move swims just a little bit further down it is, and see if we can catch one that little bit bigger. In the flow. Bingo! Oh, right. Well, Mike's just slipped back that lovely haul of chub we've had this morning. I think it was 5 or 6 chub in the end. Biggest one being that one Mike had first or second at 4.14. So absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous chub, and a great morning. We're going to have one last go. Some guy moved in further down, so it sort of hampered us from going further downstream. But we've come back up again, and we're going to try the spots that we did this morning, but just from a slightly different angle. Looking at it as we've walked back up, there's a couple of spots we didn't fish. Just that different light angle and a different look down the river has shown us a couple of spots we can try. So we're going to try that, and then we're going to try a totally different spot for the last hour of the day. It's going to involve hopping back in the car and trundling back around the London traffic, and see if we can try another little spot. This time it'll be on the bread mash feeder, so we'll see whether we can have one more chub from a different spot later on. But for now, I'm going to get this rod out, see if we can catch one more from this venue before we make a move.
£7, 15 ounces.
Get in there! Get in there! Well, I can't believe it. We said we might have a chance for a better one, and Mike promised me if we had a chance it could potentially be a big fish, and I'm literally shaking like a leaf. I couldn't believe it when I saw this come up. £7, 14 ounces.
15? 7.15?
7.15.
Don't do yourself out of an ounce.
£7.15, and that is an absolutely ginormous Thames chub. It's a ginormous chub, but it's so special to come out the Thames as well, and I can't believe it. I'm just literally speechless.
Can you give us a head-on shot, Ad? Give us an idea of the scale of the width of it.
Look at the thickness of that chub. How's that look, mate?
Yeah, bit more head on to us.
How's that?
Lovely, yeah.
Absolutely blown away. I'm going to get a couple of snaps of it now, but I literally cannot believe it. What a fish. Well, welcome to another section of the diary piece, and we're a week on from that epic chub on the Thames. Still can't quite believe it, really. You had some lovely messages, some really nice comments all week, which was nice, and it's quite refreshing actually, because I think a lot of the time, I mean, me and a few other friends, we do spend a lot of time fishing for other species, but you always think everyone else is just bogged down with carp, but everyone was really impressed with that chub, so that was a really nice thing to see, and it's certainly put a smile on my face, and I haven't stopped smiling all week. But we're at a totally different venue this week. We are back on my carp syndicate, the Manor, but we haven't got the carp rods with us, we've got the pike rods. As I said before, I was going to start doing a bit of piking on here when the weather was right, and it's absolutely spot on now. Not a very nice day to be out though. As you can see, I'm doing the first little piece in the bivvy, I'm afraid, because it's absolutely tipping down. I've come with me missus as well, managed to drag her out for the day, so not the greatest bit of angling. I've jumped in the first available peg, whacked the Tempest brolly up, and chucked the waterproofs on and got the rods out, just so I can get fishing, keep the missus dry, and have a little look. I've got a good view of the lake from here though. Just looking over the camera, I can see the full length of the lake, so I can see if anything's going on. And I am going to move. The second I get a chance to move, I'm going to move, because it's quite shallow in this end. It has done some pike before. I'm talking to a couple of members, this shallow end, but I want to be in the slightly deeper water. And like anything, when you're fishing a venue for the first time, I want to explore as much of it as I can, because you never know, the pike might territorially hold up in certain areas on this lake, and until I find them, I'm not going to have a great deal of success. So over the next 2 or 3 sessions on here, I'm going to have to move around. I have done 1 session on here so far, and had 6 bites, but all small pike, between 8 and sort of 10 pound. But yeah, it was quite a nice, good day, but we're after the real big ones that are in here. There's sort of myths, if you like, because I don't think a lot of people have actually pike fished it, so I don't know anybody that's had any big ones out here. I just know everyone's seen them, and personally I've lost an upper double on carp tackle reeling in a boilie, so I know there's at least 1 good one in here, but from what I hear, there's some really nice pike in here. So yeah, we're going to give it a really good day today, fish up till sort of dusk, and have a move around if we can, depending on weather. But for now, I'm going to have a little bit of breakfast, get some stuff sorted out, and wait for a little break in the weather, I think, to have a move. But you never know, we might have one before then. If not, we'll catch you a bit later. Well, little afternoon update. The morning's come and gone. I said she was going to move as soon as we got a break in the weather. The break in the weather never happened, so we braved it, managed to talk the missus into moving. Got that done pretty quick, got round to the swim I wanted to be in, which is a lot deeper water, a swim called the Flat. I'm a lot happier here, but we haven't had anything, and it's now about 1:45, so it's been very, very slow. I've had a nice chili con carne though, so that was nice, so not all is bad. But yeah, just really hoping we can snare one this afternoon, because it really is starting to look like trying to get a bite, let alone multiple bites like last time. Sort of had a bit of a whinge up last time having those 6 small jacks. Now I'd love one, so yeah, joke's on me a bit, but we'll see. We've got plenty of time left, there's still a few hours left of light, so we'll be fishing up to dusk. But yeah, I really don't know what to say why I haven't caught. There's not really any excuses I can give. I can only think they're either not up for feeding today, they're held up in another area. I'm not going to move again. Like I said, yeah, it's not just me here today. I am with the missus, so I'm not going to keep carting her around the lake. We've moved a couple of swims. She's been good enough to do that, so we'll stay put here now and see if we can snare one. Got 3 rods out, one at the right on a sardine, one at the left on a mackerel, and one on a roach straight out in front on a float. So we've got plenty of options covered as well, so I've got no excuses. So yeah, hopefully the next time I chat to you, I'll be holding a big old pike, and we'll see. Well, sadly guys, I think this is where the section of this diary piece is going to end, and it's going to be on a big blank. Can't believe it really, it looked really good today. Obviously the conditions aren't very nice to actually sit in, but conditions for the actual fishing were pretty good. You know, it's 3 degrees, obviously it's been drizzly and miserable all day, but that doesn't normally put the pike off. So no excuses, I think it just hasn't happened today, and it just goes to show you can't catch every time you go out. And after the success of last week, maybe it was a little bit of a back to earth for me, keep me hungry. But I'll certainly be coming back, I'm not going to give up here. I know they're in here, the big pike, so I'm definitely going to persevere, and I'm sure we'll have one before the winter's out. But now I think we're probably going to give it about another 20 minutes, and then I'm afraid we've got to pack up in this absolutely miserable rain. It's torrential now, I can't even flip the camera around and show you it's that bad. It's coming in the front of the brolly. So I'm going to pack up, chuck the waterproofs back on, get all this gear back in the car and get home. But I'll certainly be out again soon. Not next week, we've got the Brentwood Carp show, but the weekend after that I'm in the middle of planning what could be quite a special little trip. But it involves a couple of different rivers, and it'll be a bit condition dependent, but I'll certainly be out doing something. So until then, I'll see you next time. Well, we're back, and a lot earlier than expected. Back down the manor, back pike fishing. Last time I spoke to you was the Saturday, it's now only the Monday, so there's only been a day in between me getting back down here. I had something booked in for today, I was helping a friend move, that's been put back, so it was either frantically try and fill something in the diary Monday morning, or take advantage of the day off and go fishing. So as you can imagine, it was an easy decision. So I've come straight back down here. After I signed off from you the other day, typically, the missus was just running one of the bags round to the car, and all that was left out was the rods and a couple of little bits, and the right hand rod ripped off. Picked it up, let it go for a little bit, hit into it, and I must have had it on for about 50 seconds and it fell off. So it sort of added insult to injury really. It was a really tough day, and then that just finished it off. It was interesting because it had been taken sort of horizontal, if you like, so there was just a big mouth mark missing where it taken it was a mackerel, I had it on it, taken the mackerel, it only had its side on, and obviously it wasn't hooked very well. I'd hit into it, and obviously it was hooked probably of 1 treble at the most, and it come off. It's interesting because the last time I come, like I said, I had 6 fish, and 3 out of the 6 were a little bit sort of deeply hooked, or much more than I'd like, and I was only giving them about 8 or 10 seconds. So that's quite an interesting and good little tip really. If you haven't done a lot of pike fishing, venues tend to be, as a rule, pretty similar to how the pike react to the bait and how they take it. So what a pike will do, it will pick it up horizontal, swim off with it, and as it's swimming off with it, it will turn it round head first and then swallow it. So it's judging that time right, because the last thing you want to do is be leaving it too long and have the hooks right down in the guts, you know, because it's not good. They're really fragile creatures, and you know, the lightlier hooks you can get them, the better. Obviously they're dangerous as well on the bank, you've got to be careful of their teeth, so that's going to be better for you as well. But it was interesting because, like I said, I only gave it the same amount of time, and it must have been so lightly hooked it hadn't even started to take it. So that's something I'll have to bear in mind today. But it's something, as a rule, you'll get to know on the water how long to give it, but just do not give it loads of time, because they will swallow it, and you don't want to go injuring or worse still, even killing a pike. So just be careful of that. But yeah, feeling really confident. I've gone in a totally different swim called the Swamp. It's quite a difficult swim to fish. It's really deep, sort of steep slope. It doesn't get fished a lot for the carp either, so yeah, I'm interested to see what it does. It's a complete opposite end to where I've been, and the only change I've got today really, apart from swims, and I'm going to be able to be more mobile because I'm on my own and the weather's better, is I've got some fresh fish. I've been using frozens, which is fine. I've had all my big pike and successful trips on frozens, if I'm honest, in the past, but I just thought something different. I went out lastminute.com yesterday to the fishmongers near where I live, and the only thing I could get was some sort of fairly smallish, for the fish, herring. So I've just cut the head off of them using a big tail section, and I'm going to persevere with that on one rod today and see if the fresh fish makes a difference. The only other thing I'm going to do is fish the deeper water more. I've been fishing the shelf and deeper water. I think I'm going to edge my bets in just the deeper water today, and see what happens. So yeah, hopefully I'll check back in shortly with another pike, because obviously I'm a day's blank the other day, so I need to redeem it. So I'll see you shortly. Well, quick update, and these pike are starting to be even more testing than the carp in this place. I've moved, but not without any action. Not long after I did that little intro piece, the right hand rod absolutely screamed off. Nothing to worry about, it was flying away. Got down there nice and calm, picked it up, like I said to you before, usual sort of 8-10 seconds. Went to wind into it, absolutely nothing, so it dropped it. So yeah, something's not quite going right for me at the moment with the pike in this place, but I'm not going to give up. Like I said, I'm going to rove a bit more today. I've done until 11 o'clock in that swim, and I've moved around there about 20 past 11. Rod's already back out, one up the right, one up the left, both in deep water, and then I've dropped a float just out in front, just on the shelf. So we've got a few options covered again. So yeah, we just have to keep persevering. Like I said, I'm not going to let it beat me. I know they're in here, so just have to keep plugging away. But I really do hope I get to show you one of the pike before the day's out. We'll catch up later. Well, nothing to report, I'm afraid. Thought I'd do a little update anyway. I'm actually just about to move, so I thought I'm not going to be able to do one for a little while, because it's going to involve a little bit of hassle packing up and moving down the other end. Just starting to get a little bit despondent now, if I'm honest, because not because of what I'm doing, because I think what I'm doing is right. Obviously the first session I came, I had 6 bites, albeit small ones, but something just doesn't seem right. You know, I'm getting these little occurrences every now and again. I'll get little pull-ups, and when I do reel it in to have a change, it's the baits are sort of eaten out a little bit in the centre. Not sure what this could be really, but it just ain't what I want to be getting. You know, I want to be getting those positive pickups. So you start doubting a little bit, you know, the setup, how I'm fishing. But it's just my usual. When I'm fishing on the bottom, it's like a running paternoster setup. I use it everywhere I go. I've caught loads and loads of pike doing it, but because you're struggling, you start doubting whether or not you could be doing something different. But it is, I think it's about 1:20 to 2, so we've still got a little bit of time. It doesn't get dark till after 4:30 now, 4:20 to 5 I reckon, so I'll be fishing right up to the death. I'll just keep an eye on my float in the background there. Yeah, we'll just keep going. I mean, that's all we can do. The nice thing about this situation is now is when we do get one, it's going to be lovely. It's going to feel like a real special reward for all the hard work. You know, packing up, moving, the other day in the rain. It's a bit better weather-wise today, or a lot better weather-wise today, but it's still a load of grief, you know, packing up and wandering around all the time, but worth the effort sometimes, and I hope it's going to be today. But yeah, we'll persevere. I'm still confident I might get to show you a pike before the day's out. If not, it's going to be the second blank in a row. Poor old me. Well, as you can see, I haven't got a fish. It just hasn't happened again today. It's been really hard work. I'm approaching sort of the last hour now. Moved into this swim. It looked good, to be fair. You know, as good as it can. Look, conditions have been good today. It's been a bit bright at times, but you know, I don't normally mind that. It is a little bit warmer than it has been. But if I'm honest, I'm just finding excuses really. It's been good enough to catch pike, put it that way. Yeah, so I moved into this swim called the 18. It's sort of on the other, it's the opposite end to where I started and the opposite bank to where I started, so I've sort of done a big horseshoe, and there is no more moves on the cards now because there's a couple of people here carp fishing, and if I make a move either way now, I'm going to be treading on people's toes or getting too close to them really, and I wouldn't want dead baits crashing around where I've got my carp rods set out. So that'll be it. I'll just be having to sit it out here and hope I can snare one at dusk. We got that bite the other day right at last knock-ins, so I'm still going to remain confident right up until the death. But if it doesn't happen, I won't check in again. I'll just see you next time. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. Like I said before, I've got a trip planned for the weekend after the show, but it's sort of conditions dependent because it's going to be on rivers, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll be back out again shortly, and until then, take it easy. Well, all good things come to those who wait and all that. We've had one. The left hand rod's gone. Funny old take, and I've lifted into this one. Great battle. I thought it was a bigger fish, to be fair. Well, it ain't a bad one anyway. Let me show you. Oh, check him out. How about that? He's probably, I don't know, 15, 16 pounds. He could definitely go a lot bigger. A lovely character. So it's got a chewed up old fin and a few marks this side, but what a great fish. And it's great to get one after all those moves and nightmare in the rain the other day, and it just shows everything you're doing is working. Sometimes you just got to be patient. I'm made up with this, but I'm not going to keep it out for too long. Get it back. We got half hour, you never know. Could even have one more, but well chuffed. Well, good morning and welcome to another section of the diary with a Tuesday after the Brentwood Carp show that I mentioned last time. And just like to say a massive thank you to everyone that attended the Brentwood Carp show at the weekend. Come and saw us on the stand and had a natter. It's great to meet so many new faces and obviously catch up with lots of old. I had a good walk around on the Sunday, and from what I hear, just about everyone in the trade had a really good weekend. So, you know, a massive weekend for the trade, and it's always a good occasion. But yeah, we're back down the manor. I did say to you the next session I was going to be on is a little adventure, potentially, and that's my phone ringing. That's really annoying. Hold on, let's get rid of him. It's only Jerry Bridger. I'll ring him back. Yeah, so it was a really fantastic show, and obviously we're back down here now at the manor the Tuesday after, and like I said, I was going to be going on a 3-day sort of adventure on a couple of rivers over the weekend. Something is still happening, but we're just not sure what. So I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down the manor, I'm going to have another day's piking, and I'm going to get this diary wrapped up and move on to the next one, and then whatever happens at the weekend can feature in the next one. Only because where we're going might not be able to film, it might be a lot of walking involved, so it might just end up being a pleasure trip with hopefully some still photos to share on the next diary piece. But yeah, we're back down here. We've jumped straight in that swim where we had that lovely pike last time. And I must just say, I think I underestimated the weight of that pike. I said it was 15 or 16 pounds, I think, in the video. But after slipping it back, I had a good look at it, and I think it was the best part of 18, maybe even a little bit bigger. So yeah, a real cracking fish, and well pleased with it, and probably should have chucked it on the scales. But anyway, we're back down. A couple of little changes. I've brought down some smelt this time. I could only get really small ones. It's one of my favourite baits. Like, the only reason I haven't been using it is because I haven't been able to get the turbo ones, which are that little bit bigger. So what I've done is I've scaled everything down, dropped the treble size down, fined the wire down. I just made it suit the bait because they're very small. You know, a bit like what you do in carp fishing if you're using particle and stuff. You might fine everything down. I've done that, and let's hope that sort of pays off. On the other rod, I've brought down another new bait, which is lamprey. A little bit like a cross between an eel and a leech, but it's really bloody. And in this deep water, I think it might be an edge. We've jumped straight back in that swim, one where we had the fish from, because I think we have stumbled across them here. And I think, going by the stamp of that fish, you know, it was a decent fish. I'm just hoping that that is where the better ones or the rest of them are congregated up. But we'll see as the day pays off. But I am going to put a bit of effort into this swim. I'm not going to move as quick as I did last time. And see whether we are in the right area, because I've just got a hunch we are. So yeah, rods are out. I'm going to put the kettle on now for the first time. It really is one of those spectacular winter's mornings. It was about just over 0 degrees when I got here. Beautiful frost, and the sunrise is absolutely spectacular. So I'm going to have a cup of tea, enjoy that, and hopefully we'll catch up soon with the fish. See you in a bit. Well, how about that? I literally just finished that little intro to camera, and the right hand rod that I said was on the smelt absolutely ramped off, and we've got one straight away. What a difference the session makes. Well, those last couple of times we've been really struggling to make it happen. First 5 minutes and we've got this lovely pike, certainly a double. Let's get him out and have a look. Let's hold him up and show you. Still pretty lively. He spat the hooks in the net as well, which is always nice. But there you go. Check him out. Absolutely stunning, and what a start. It just goes to show you, sometimes it can just take a few sessions just to suss things out on a new water, and then you can start having it your own way. We think we found the peg now where they're holding up, and it looks like we've got the bait right as well. This one liked that little smelt. It didn't matter that it was only small. Like I said, I could only find the small one, so I scaled everything down, treble size down, the wire down, 5 minutes in the right place, and we've caught this stunning Esox. Let's hope it's the start of things to come. Lovely. Well, we got another one. How about that? It's just a contrast in sessions is unbelievable. This one really is shaping up to be a red letter day, this one. Another really long pike, this one. A bit like that one last week. Oh, check him out. What an absolute cracker. Absolutely made up with this one. Again on the smelt. So I think we've got ourselves a little bit of a favourite bait going on now. And it's from the same spot as well. Nice deep spot just off the shelf on the right hand side. I'm not going to keep him out too long. I'm going to get him back, so I don't think it's going to be the last one. Can't be, it's only 11:30. Sun's up, I'm going to get the kettle on, a couple of still shots of this, and then we'll see if we can catch another one. Fantastic. Well, good afternoon. I thought I'd do a little update. The morning's come and gone. It's now about 2:30. Yeah, and I'm really pleased with this morning's work. 2 lovely pike. I didn't really expect that, if I'm honest. I thought it was going to be all afternoons again, especially with the weather being bright today. I thought if we're going to have a chance of a few, it's probably going to be from the afternoon onwards. So to get 2 this morning was really pleasing. Another nice thing was the fact that they're sort of, the average stamp now is getting that bit bigger. As I said to you, the first session I had 6 really small jacks between sort of 8 and 11 pound. And the last 3 fish have been, really good big doubles. So, it's really pleasing that. And another thing is just getting the bait as well. There's the last 3 fish, including that one on the last session, was on a relatively small bait, a little joey, that one. And on this session, it's been on the little smelt. So it's sort of certainly paid to scale down a little bit and use those smaller baits. There might not be anything in it, but if there is, then it seems we've unlocked a little code. Oh, we're away. Well, we weren't in. That was disappointing. I thought we were going to catch one on camera there. I don't know what happened there. Nothing wrong with the bait when I brought it in. So, yeah, pulled up tight, come out the backdropper, and yeah, just never really went away. So, never mind. Back out and ready for action. Now, I was just saying there, I was really pleased with getting the sort of bait and the tactics right now, and hopefully that's something that we've sort of unlocked for the next few sessions. I'm definitely going to stick with those smaller baits and slightly scaled down tactics now. Don't know, like I said, I don't know if that is what's working, but obviously it's done us some results, so you have to sort of grab what you can and go with a confidence booster, so I'm going to do that. And I've actually put all 3 rods now on the little smelt, so hopefully we can winkle out one more this afternoon. But I think above all, it just shows you, like I've tried to do with a lot of these little blogs and videos really, it's an absolutely stunning day today, and it's been sort of pretty action packed with the 2 pike this morning, and like I say, a little aborted take there, and it's quite an active way of fishing as well, this sort of roving the rods around. You're not just casting out and sitting back and drinking tea all day. You're trying different spots, different depths, and just keeps you active and sort of keeps you enjoying your fishing right the way through the winter months. It's been a real cold day today, Now the sun's up, it's quite a nice bit of heat coming off that, but when that starts dropping again it will be cold. But you know, I'll stay active this afternoon, keep roving the rods around, and hopefully we're not too far away from that big girl, so fingers crossed. But if I don't have anything more, I will just check in one more time to wrap this vlog up, but hopefully we can do that with a fish a bit later on. We'll see. Well, talk about wrap a vlog up in style. We've only gone and had the biggest one that we've had yet this winter, and it's certainly the biggest one I've had here out at the manor. A shade over 19 pounds and scraps like you wouldn't believe. A lovely old fish again, and I'm absolutely over the moon. Let's show you. Oh, just look at that. I hope it's all in. I hope it's all in focus. I'm not going to keep it out too long, so it is what it is, but I'm absolutely over the moon with this one. It's an absolute cracker. On the smelt again. It seems we really have stumbled across a little sweet they love in this place. I'm absolutely over the moon with this. What a really, really pretty pike. I'm going to get it back, and like I said, I'm going to wrap the vlog up here. I'll be back out again real soon, but I want to try and keep these short, so this one will end here. I'd just like to say a big thanks to everyone that's been watching, and all the lovely messages I had over the weekend at the Carp show about when's the next one due and how much they enjoyed the first one. And I can't wait to keep these going, keep the momentum up this year, and we'll be fishing for all sorts, God knows what, but I'll be dragging the camera along, trying to document as much of it as I can. But until then, like I always say, you are not going to catch them sitting at home, so get yourselves out there. Thanks for watching.